spirits and free from the plague of coronavirus. Everybody is fighting and I'm happy to see that all of you are taking good care of yourself and attending to your necessities and remaining free. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Welcome. Om Jnana Tirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidanamani. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Today we shall try to delve into an important shloka from 6th chapter, 17th verse, 1-7. So if you have the Bhagavad-gita with you, please go to 6th chapter, text 17, 1-7. Yuktāhāra-vihārasya, yukta-ceṣṭasya karmasu, yukta-svapnāvabodhasya, yogo bhavati duḥkha-hā. Yukta, regulated, ahara, eating, vihārasya, recreation, yukta, regulated, ceṣṭasya, of one who works for maintenance, karmasu, in discharging duties, yukta, regulated, swapnāvabodhasya, sleep and wakefulness, yoga, practice of yoga, bhavati, becomes duḥkha-hā, diminishing pains. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation: He who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation, and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. Purport: extravagance in the matter of eating, sleeping, defending, and mating, which are demands of the body, can block advancement in the practice of yoga. As far as eating is concerned, it can be regulated only when one is practiced to take and accept prasadam, sanctified food. Lord Krishna is offered, according to the Bhagavad-gita 9.26, vegetables, flowers, fruits, grains, milk, etc. In this way, a person in Krishna consciousness becomes automatically trained not to accept food not meant for human consumption or not in the category of goodness. As far as sleeping is concerned, a Krishna conscious person is always alert in the discharge of his duties in Krishna consciousness, and therefore any unnecessary time spent sleeping is considered a great loss. Avyartha kalatvam. A Krishna conscious person cannot bear to pass a minute of his life without being engaged in the service of the Lord. Therefore, his sleeping is kept to a minimum. His ideal in this respect is Srila Rupa Goswami, who was always engaged in the service of Krishna and who could not sleep more than 2 hours a day. And sometimes not even that. Thakur Haridas would not even accept prasadam, nor even sleep for a moment, without finishing his daily routine of chanting with his beads 300,000 names. As far as work is concerned, a Krishna conscious person does not do anything which is not connected with Krishna's interest. And thus, his work is always regulated and is untainted by sense gratification. Since there is no question of sense gratification, there is no material leisure for a person in Krishna consciousness. And because he is regulated in all his work, speech, sleep, wakefulness, and all other bodily activities, there is no material misery for him. Om Tat Sat. Om Jnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna. So this is, I think, a very instructive shloka. Yuktāhāra-vihārasya yukta-ceṣṭasya karmasu yukta-svapnāvabodhasya yogo bhavati duḥkha-hā. Dukha-hā, your misery will be cut off. You will not be miserable. If you practice this yoga system and in compliance with that, you neither eat too much nor eat too less. Neither do you sleep too much nor sleep too less. And you recreate yourself appropriately. Vihārasya and yukta-ceṣṭasya karmasu, what work you are doing also is properly balanced. Then you will have no misery. It's such a profound shloka for this day and age at this time when everybody is deeply introspecting and looking at his lifestyle in the COVID times, when people are increasingly being given advice, nothing will work. The whole medical field doesn't have a solution. The only way is for you to build up your immunity against this virus, because we don't know who this virus is. We haven't developed a vaccine for it yet. And we will not develop it till about another 1 year or so. And you have to ward it off only by your own immunity. And how does your immunity develop? By not doing all those things that you normally do whimsically in terms of your daily activities of sleeping, eating. Eating, you just cannot eat anything you want. Junk food, that food, this food. At any time you want, in the middle of the night, have a grand party and binge. And then you get up late in the morning at 12 o'clock. And it's no more morning if it's 12 o'clock. And you rush to your office. You can't do these things and abuse your material situation. You cannot abuse your body. You cannot abuse your lifestyle. And that has come into the consciousness of everybody very deeply now. So many people are cutting off, snipping off, because I have to live. And if I have to live, I have to be disciplined. I have to know what to eat, when to eat, how to eat. So this has become a great education now. How to sleep, how to eat, how to recreate yourself, etc., etc., etc. What to do and what not to do. So actually in civilized human society, all this is known already because people are trained right from when they're very young. What to eat and what not to eat, how to sleep, etc., etc. People in traditional houses are told by 9 o'clock it should be asleep. All kids are just thrown into the bed. By 8 o'clock they've finished everything and they can fool around a little bit. They're put into bed 9 o'clock. And then they're woken up pretty early, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, like that. And then they've got a full night's rest of 6 plus 7 hours or something. And the morning they're made to study. And then they go to school early. They come back, they keep your things clean. Everything is at home. They're trained. Yuktāhāra-vihārasya, eating at the right time, sleeping at the right time. Because they watch the adults also doing the same thing at home. So in this way, there's a culture of yoga. Yoga means discipline. You just cannot just go to a yoga studio alone and learn some few asanas and then live your lifestyle in a completely different way. These two things don't match at all. If at all you want to practice yoga, yama, niyama, all that is required first. Then only asana comes way down. If you're a person who can't keep discipline, can't sleep properly, can't forget yoga. First learn that. That itself is the yoga. Discipline yoga itself should be learned first. Forget about you doing asanas, everything. First of all, learn to be disciplined. Human being, human life means starts with knowing the basic things. Yukta-āhāra. Neither too much, not too less. At the right time. Not too late, not too early. See, it's very easy to do the two extremes. Eating too much is easy, we often do it. Eating too less also is very easy. In your great renunced mood and in a great feeling of vairagya, sometimes you would do it. But to eat all the time, exactly at the same time, and eat exactly what you need, That has become a very difficult thing in human society now. Extremes are easy because that is stupidness. I mean, that is stupidity. To, do eating when you want, where you want, how you want, and what you want, all that. Human society has learned quite a big lesson now, especially during this COVID times. You can't eat anything you want. The body is designed in a particular way to be in harmony with nature, to be in harmony with what bhumi, ground, gives us as crops, as grains, fruits, vegetables. You can't even shove fertilizers and spray any insecticides and all that. You live it. There are natural things that you need to do. And those natural things, the food actually becomes a medicine. If you eat at the right time, the right food, you don't even get sick. Because as you see, yuktāhāra-vihārasya, yogo bhavati duḥkha-hā. You will not get sickness and misery caused by sickness. But sickness is widely rampant. So many people are sick and hospitals are filled with people, and the medical insurance companies make their money out of it. The pharmaceuticals make their money out of it. The doctors run their business out of it. It's all based on sickness of people. And that sickness is because of very bad habits and very bad regulation, very bad lifestyle. People live and make a big business out of the bad lifestyle. But if you change into good lifestyle, you will see all these people will run out of business. They simply run out of business because everybody is healthy. Everybody is healthy. You don't need to go. This is exactly what will happen. And even if you are for some time sick due to some small reason, you can treat yourself in your own household. If you have led a disciplined life, it's very easy to spring back into normalcy by taking very little treatment. Animals do that. Animals get sick, they fast. They go and chew up some particular type of medicinal leaves they know, and they stay away. And they just take rest for 1-2 days and they're back again. It's hardwired inside them how to cure yourself. They don't have to go to a hospital. They don't go, actually. They can do it. And they will eat exactly what is meant for them. They will eat exactly what is meant for them. And there is a way. They don't eat other people's food. You don't see a tiger chewing up fruits and you don't see a cow eating up meat. You don't see all this unless human beings feed it. They had the mad cow disease in UK. I hope you remember that. The mad cow disease. What was it called? It was called something. It had a big name. And at that time, they found out that they've been feeding meat, pellets and all that to the cows through the cow feed and everything. And something like that was a reason for the mad cow disease. You give the artificial food to the cow, which is not supposed to eat, and then you run into big problems. Everybody is to eat jivo jivasya jivanam. Everybody should eat what they're supposed to eat. It's so natural and it's so nicely designed. There is a design in everything, in our body, in our lifestyle, in nature, in the harmony around us, and living in proximity with all the other animals, birds, beasts, insects. And there is a whole nice ecosystem there. There is a balance, there is a design, and it is created by the Lord. And if we can understand that a little bit and live in tune with that, it's so easy. It's in momentum with that, right? And everything is all right. You don't get really very sick all the time, right? So you will see that there are people living like that now. I know of them. There are some people who take away from this lousy human society where everything is so unregulated and so indisciplined, and they live their own life of discipline. There are people who do that. There are ashrams who do that. And there are, even in the Western world, I've talked about the Amish community. It's a community 250 years old. They stay completely away from civilization. They have their own group, their own civilization. They are 250 years old. They live off the land. They have cows. They have horses. They don't have electricity. They have, they have their own lamps. They sleep very early in the evening by 7:30, 10. They go to church, come back. They get up early in the morning. They go and plow the field. They read the Bible the whole day. And they have a family. They have 10 children, 8 children, all of them, even now. That's a tradition. And they live very happily. very pure, in a completely different way. And this is a Western world community. I happened to see them on my visit to America. There are people, even in the Western world, they may not be like fully like Vedic culture of living, but the principles are there. Regulated living. So human society has become crazy. No discipline of any sort, especially in eating, sleeping, mating, defending, and all this. Ahara nidra bhayamaitunam samanyetat pashubir naranam. Although same things are done by animals also, they are still maintaining their discipline because they live in tune with nature. Except those animals which you bring into the human society and tweak around with and do other things with. Right? So there is a natural order and design, eating properly. So it's a shame that human society has to be taught the basics of how to eat, when to eat, what to eat, how to sleep, when to sleep, and all that stuff. It's just basics, that kindergarten stuff we have to teach people now. And you have courses, classes on all these things. I used to speak to you about earlier that I saw in a place here that there is a big organization called Hush. There's a lady doing this, and you go there and pay and get a good night's sleep. They'll give you chamomile tea, they'll give you a nice surrounding, they'll play music for you, they'll give you the nice dinner that you need to have by 7:30, and they'll sing a lullaby maybe practically and put you to sleep in a nice atmosphere. And people love to sleep there because they just sleep a full 8 hours, because otherwise at home they cannot sleep, and they when they're on the work they cannot sleep when they're traveling. So some people just want to sleep and they go and sleep in these places because you're told how to sleep. And normally I cannot sleep. So when I heard this, I thought, so pathetic, so sad. Human beings have to be taught and given an experience of how to eat and sleep properly. So that's the condition of human society. So what to speak of yoga, what to speak of other things? Therefore, Prabhupada is saying a devotee who doesn't get involved in material sense gratification and has understood Krishna consciousness, he is naturally disciplined, and these miseries don't take over him. Until sometimes devotees overwork themselves in terms of their devotional service, and they have Janmashtami program and they're fasting, and till late night guests are coming to take darshan. And sometimes in those situations, okay, they get stressed out a little bit. Otherwise, normal life, in the ashram, we are all up in the morning at Mangalarati. 4:15, we are there in front of the DDs. We chant Hare Krishna from 5 o'clock onwards, right up to 6:30. Then people go and do their minimum services and they come back at 7:15 for Darshanarati. The Lord has been given his bath and is new dressed and is giving Shringara Darshan. And we take part in that. We hear Bhagavatam and then we take breakfast at about 9 o'clock. In this way, the whole morning is very disciplined. And then we go about doing our services. We get to sleep early in the night, and it's pretty much quite peaceful. And human society and human beings are designed to be from sunrise to sunset. There's a discipline even in the seasons. There's a discipline even in the day, when it rises and when it sets. You have to go by the sunrise. You have to sleep during the night, not, rock and revel the whole night and then sleep the whole morning. Right up to 12 o'clock, under the sun rises on your backside and wakes you up due to the heat at 12 o'clock. That's not the way to live, obviously. But people are living. They work in the night and people go ahead and do it, and they completely spoil their system. You're not designed for that. It's a fact, right? So disciplining yourself in the basic, uh, you know, mode of looking after your body, knowing these simple things, when to eat, what to eat, how to sleep, etc., that constitutes the first step towards a decent human life. Forget even yoga. First, be disciplined in terms of maintaining your body. Because only then you can even have sense gratification if you want to have. You need to have sensory powers and proper body, strength, and all these things together. Right? So a yogi means he should automatically be disciplined. I know of people who do yoga, go to yoga studio and everything like that, but they have got a horrible lifestyle. They are not able to maintain their lifestyle. They drink, they smoke. Few of them are getting away from smoking and drinking because I want to keep a good lifestyle. I want to be successful. There's another group of people like that, interested in good physique and good health and everything. But their aim, of course, is sense gratification. And they go ahead and they go excessively gratify themselves, and they have problems too. But if you're fixed somehow in the absolute truth, somehow in a little spirituality, and if you work back, you will see that your discipline has got a purpose, not just sense gratification alone. It's got a higher purpose. It's got the purpose of the goal of life. And therefore, I need to be aligned. My life is of great value. It's very valuable. I can't afford to erode it away by indisciplined sleeping and eating and recreation and gratification. I want to live long. I want to actually go deep into life. I want to understand the meaning and purpose and goal of life. Then you better have to have depth even in your lifestyle. No point being greatly wide and very shallow. Human life now people are understanding that we have no depth, we have great width. We are expanded in many ways, in technology, in gratification, in that and this. But life has no depth itself. Life has no purpose, no meaning. So people are committing suicide, people are terrorizing, people are raping, people are, totally off. So that's why yoga means when you're connected spiritually to the absolute truth, then there is meaningful life. And there is meaning. Why I'm eating less? There is meaning. Why I'm eating at the right time? There is meaning. Right? Prabhupada taught us that. And he's sitting here just not eating alone. You must eat prasadam. Eating food cooked and offered with love and devotion to Krishna. It gives you the discipline and more. It hooks you up. It connects you spiritually with the real goal of life and gives meaning to your eating. Gives meaning to your eating. Which is simply sitting and eating all sorts of good things alone. It's not enough. Krishna is saying in Bhagavad-gita, yukta-ceṣṭasya santo muchyante sarva kilbishai bhunjate te tu agam papam ye pachanti atmakaranat. That agam papam you will eat, even if you eat only vegetarian food. You don't offer it. Because food, there are so many things about eating. So many things about eating. Small things, but very highly influential. I was once speaking to somebody about eating home-cooked food, cooked by your mother, eating together with your family members. It's got a tremendous effect on your health, number one. Number two, on nourishing you. That spirit and that mood and that atmosphere of eating together gives a lot of influence on you. Food is not just the food that you eat alone. Food means many things together. If you eat home-cooked food cooked by your mom, eating, that's got a completely different flavor to it. Compare that to going to the restaurant and eating. You don't know who cooked it. What's the lifestyle of that person who cooked it? How many days he took his bath or not? What is his cleanliness? And what does he do? Because whoever cooks it, he puts his consciousness into it. You are what you eat. Cooked by whom? So you go to a restaurant and you eat, you order food outside, you don't know who has cooked it. And worse still, nowadays it's mechanized in some machines and it's cooked. They have robots as cooking, mass cooking. And it's not done with love, affection and all that. But at home, Your mom puts all your love and affection into it. My kids are going to eat. He likes this, he likes that, he likes it like this. And you put it inside. And greater still, if you're thinking, I'm going to offer it to Krishna, and it's cooked with love for Krishna, and they take Krishna Prasadam. How amazing at home. Cooked food, Krishna Prasad. I remember this. In the initial stages in my house, I forced that everybody should offer and eat. And then we were eating prasadam together. I think it was one of the best of times in eating. Something fills you up inside also. Intellectually, spiritually satisfying, intellectually satisfying. Taste, you're satisfied. You feel tripti. You feel, good. You feel all that. That's why the food works very nicely in nourishing you, both spiritually and materially. Similarly, for sleeping also, you sleep at the right time. You sleep hearing Krishna and stories of Krishna. So wonderful. Many of us always turn on Krishna stories, reading, and we drowse off hearing Krishna Katha. Right? We time it, and then in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, it just goes off by itself, and everybody is sleeping, hearing Krishna Katha. Sometimes devotees read and people sleep, right? I've seen in the devotees' houses the mother singing Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in so many wonderful tunes to put the kids to sleep, or singing some bhajans, and the kids also sing along and like slowly crawl off to sleep. So wonderful that the child is able to chant the names of God and go to sleep. What more do you want? So healthy, right? So these are simple things you could do to live a very enriched life. And don't underestimate these things, the advice that Krishna has given about eating, sleeping, recreation, and engaging yourself in work. We have to live a rich life. And for that, we need to put this thing. Best thing, as I mentioned, is to factor in Krishna inside your eating, sleeping, and all that. And you will see that you'll be able to do it very well and get the best out of it. Unfortunately, people don't have even time to eat nowadays. People chewing up a sandwich, driving to the workplace in the morning. I got a report by 9 o'clock. I got up only at 8 o'clock. My drive is 45 minutes, and I mostly can't pick up anything. I just, take a sandwich for the nearby counter somewhere and just eat it on the way. And in agitated way, I eat it, and therefore I have indigestion, or I have gas, and I have acidity. All that happens because you eat in great anxiety. And then my lunch also I had to skip. I just ate some, fruits, or I had a salad, or I, took something from my neighbors, this thing, and I drank coffee and tea. And then the night is the only time I can eat. I binge in the night. It's the worst time to eat. It's the worst time to eat. Ayurveda will tell you after the sunset, don't eat. Don't put any grain inside either. Very likely take some hot milk or something. That's all. Get up early and you can eat in the morning. When the sun is above your head, it's the best for the system to operate, right? So all these wonderful information about eating and all sleeping, if only we could adjust these things, human society will be much more efficient, highly productive, and oriented towards self-realization. So you will see that in history, many of the people, uh, especially in our movement, you will see Prabhupada started this movement, and people were so wild in the West. They'll eat anytime, sleep anytime, do anything anytime. So when he introduced this type of discipline, people were shocked first. But then he said that you have to do it if you want to be my disciples. So they forced themselves to do it because of love for Prabhupada. And they found an amazing change in their life. They found that it's amazing to wake up early in the morning, to sleep early, to eat sanctified food called prasadam, to chant Hare Krishna, to keep clean by taking 2-3 baths a day. All this puts you into a different consciousness, sattvika guna. in sattva guna. And when you're in that sattvika guna, you understand the scripture very well, you understand goal of life very well, you understand this deeper philosophical subject matters much better, and you're able to pursue it. You lead a very enriched, high-class life. You don't need money for doing that. You don't need some great material facility for doing that. It's how you maintain your lifestyle and your consciousness. So you can have poor people live that. I know of poor people in the Krishna conscious movement. We have these namahattas and everything in Bengal and villages. I'd been to Bangladesh. The whole host of people, very poor. Their monthly income is 4,000 rupees. They work in some factory nearby, but they're devotees. When I went there, I was completely moved by their devotion. They would, pour out, if somebody, a sannyasi like me, goes there, they pour their love and affection. They cook the best of foods. They're very good cooks. Cook the best of foods, and they make it a festival, not because of the opulence of it, but the amount of affection and relationship they throw in. And I was just wondering, you don't need anything much really in human society. Human society lacks that relationship, that bonhami and kamarderi, as they would call in South America and in other places. That good feeling towards each other. I don't need great money to have a good relationship with you. If I can discuss Krishna with you, I can discuss Bhagavad-gita with you, share a little prasadam with you, you will value my friendship very much, my company very much. And in this way, one to the other, we all value ourselves much. We have great value for human life because it is meant for this purpose. And we are concerned about each other's life. And we eat and sleep according to what is required so that we can preserve this beautiful relationship in human society with Krishna in the center. It's so powerful, the community. That's what Krishna is describing in Bhagavad-gita. In the 3rd chapter also he describes that. Remaining in harmony with Krishna's instructions. So when I went there, I saw that people were so nice, so good, and very well trained and good-natured. And they didn't have anything much and they didn't care about it. Their values were placed on something else. So this type of lifestyle is something that shoots you up to a higher lifestyle. Right? Even great kings and personalities would adopt this lifestyle in spite of all the opulences they had. Because in this lifestyle, their consciousness is high. They're in sattvika guna and beyond, and they can see things in a much better way. So these things like eating, sleeping, contribute a lot to keeping your consciousness in the proper sense. And it's easier to be a devotee. Sometimes devotees, they take up Krishna consciousness and they find it difficult because their habits are crazy. And once they do that, they can enjoy the gift of Krishna consciousness, right? So discipline, a little discipline. You don't know the benefits you get from this discipline. I often give you an example of flying a kite. When you fly a kite, you need to take it off the ground. The time it takes some time to take it off the ground. It doesn't take off the ground. Once it takes off the ground, all you need is a little tug against the breeze and it goes high. Once you've taken it off the ground. Taking it off the ground, Prabhupada told us that, interesting joke. Prabhupada told us in his younger days, he wanted to fly the kite. So he got all this thread and roll and everything, and he would try to take off the kite. And his sister would always help him take off the kite. And she would run along with him when he was running with it. And it would not take off. So when it would not take off, 1 try, 2 try, 3 tries, and she would go and help, he would turn around and beat her. Why it's not taking off? And then she would take the beating and still run around with him. Prabhupada cited that I would just beat her up, give her a little knock, that, you lifted it, it's not taking off. That's a frustration sometimes. Our discipline plan doesn't take off because we are lost in many habits that are bad. But it's a question of just pushing it and organizing it a little bit until it takes off once or twice. Once it takes off, then actually you get up notch, you get confident, and you remain in a different level, completely different. And once it's up, it's much easier to keep it up. It doesn't require the same effort that you took to take it off the ground. Once it's up and you're disciplined and you're moving, you need very less effort to keep going, flying, because the breeze is doing the job. And the breeze is blowing against the kite. And because it's blowing again, it goes up. It goes up. Spiritual life will take you up in the discipline. You have greater realizations. You progress in your life, and you progress in the purpose of your life with discipline, with this yuktāhāra-vihārasya, yukta-ceṣṭasya, karmasu. So sometimes people find it very difficult for me to do these things. No. You keep telling yourself and programming yourself it's difficult, it becomes difficult. Take it off the ground. Take the kite off the ground with a little effort. In the initial stages, people find I chant one japa around a day. I try to do this. I try to do that. But I can see that they need a push at that time. It's like you're flying a missile into space, flying a rocket into space. You know, it's designed to have maximum energy blow, because till it clears the gravity and gets out of the gravity zone, it requires a tremendous amount of energy because you're working against gravity. And it pushes out, and once it clears the gravity zone, after that there's no gravitational force, and much less is required to keep it moving up. It's the initial thing that puts away people. But there is a zone in there. It's a gravitational force zone. Beyond that, you'll find it much easier to maintain it. Once you've made it a habit to get up early in the morning, you will miss it like nothing if you don't get up and breathe the fresh air and see the sunrise and walk around and hear the twittering of birds and the early morning sun breaking through. It's such a great experience that you'll feel so bad if you missed it in the morning. But if you have never done that, you'll feel that, oh boy, I don't want to do that. I don't want to wake up so early. You don't have the taste for it. But if once you do it, then you see that, wow, that's some experience. I like to do that. I've got to jump into bed early today because I want to do that tomorrow. So it's like you're taken off and your kite is already flying once you get the taste of it. And it requires much less effort to keep it. You're floating. Human life is meant to be like that. It's not meant to be in a low level of bobbing up and down and daily having problems with your body and, you know, taking about 15 pills a day and then having a completely unacceptable schedule and being obese, full of disease. And, you know, people just live life throughout like that as though this is the way to live. So bad habits is the reason for shortened lifespan. Prabhupada mentions this in the Bhagavatam, where Kali Yuga is described, right? It's mentioned that mandha sumandamatoyo mandabhagyahi upadrutaha prayen alpayusha sabhya kalavasmin yuge jana. People in Kali Yuga have low lifespans because of very bad habits. Very bad habits. You can increase your lifespan and make your life very rich if you have good habits, especially if you're a devotee and you're connected with Bhakti Yoga. So this is the package that Prabhupada gave. Get up early in the morning, as early as you can, at least by 4 o'clock, 4:30. If not, okay, 5 o'clock. Before sunrise, definitely get up. And offer your prayers to Krishna. Take a bath, offer your prayers to Krishna, and be fresh. Chant Krishna's names early in the morning. Then you can go about your household duties. You can, if you have time, if you're not a housewife, then you can read Bhagavad-gita in the morning after you chant Hare Krishna. Take a long walk, sit down and chant for some time, take a long walk in the fresh air and loudly chant Hare Krishna by yourself also. Walk and chant. Then you come back, you read Bhagavad-gita. And this you keep as the most important activity in the morning. Just saying basic things. Then you may even some people do Mangalarati when they come back. They greet the deities of the Lord. Then they sit down and take prasadam. Right in the morning, 8 o'clock, something. You feel very fresh and very nice. You take prasadam in the morning, then you go to your work. And at work also, take your little carrier of food from home and eat at the right time, and don't overwork in the evening. Don't be excessively anxious. Come back at the right time. Don't sit and do extra hours, not required. Come back at the right time, clean up, wash up, and maybe do a little kirtan bhajan, read bhagavatam or something along with your family members, and do kirtan and bhajan with them. Attend to your family, get to your children, get to your wife or husband or whatever, and talk to them and spend some time with them. Again, think something about Krishna. Lead a simple life. Don't be excessively ambitious. It's very bad for health. And try to, this is the meaning of yuktāhāra-vihārasya. Looking after yourself well, looking after the wards very well, keeping within Krishna consciousness, very simple. And you'll see your life will be rich. Rich. Keep in touch with devotees. They have good habits. They don't drink, they don't smoke, they don't keep drinking chai and coffee, they don't go to restaurants and do all that. You'll see you'll save a lot of money. You'll save a lot of money. And with that money, you make good prasadam and eat. And devotees live a very rich life. The life that Krishna is prescribing here, Gita life, is a wonderful life. Right? So try it out. Please chant Hare Krishna regularly, eat prasadam regularly, read Bhagavad-gita regularly, and mix with people who are doing the same thing, and see how your life will change. So this is a lifestyle prescription given by Krishna, and that has been converted very nicely for this day and age by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This is a simple level 1 that I'm talking about. If you can conquer this in level 1, we can teach you level 2, a little more things, and you can go deeper and deeper and experience greater pleasure. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any question or comment? Oh, Hare Krishna. Any question and comment? So, anybody's got a... Swati Nair has got a question here. Maharaj, what endeavors can a Krishna conscious person undergo to make his/her partner Krishna conscious too? The disciplined life which you explained today, will that aid in this endeavor, Maharaj? Yes, good question. Your partner may not be willing sometimes, and if he's willing, then go about it slowly, and definitely, if he's a sensible person, he'll be willing, and go about it slowly, step by step, and if he can also do it, great, wonderful. Because if the partners, husband and wife together are doing it, then it's easier for each one of you. Because each one of you is benefiting from the discipline, from the lifestyle. And if you can see value in it, great, wonderful. But if you have a partner who's not in sync with you, especially in terms of your practice of Bhakti Yoga, then maybe you have to be a little careful. You have to work out. That's a tailor-made thing. Many things have to be done. So you have to do that according to time, place, and circumstance. Okay? Right. Who is this? Sharada Sairam?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah.
I want to know, like, is there a method to maintain consistency with good behavior and good habits, Maharaj?
It's actually coming about by association.
Okay.
Consistency will come when you have company of those people who are doing the same thing. Then even without bothering it, it will become consistent.
Okay.
The problem to maintaining it comes when you have other influences and other associations that generate other type of disturbing thoughts and disturb your habit. It's about generating a good habit and keeping up with it. So if that happens, then it's a little bit of a problem. But association is one of the major factors in maintaining consistently this lifestyle.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. It was an enlightening class as well.
Yes. Thank you, Hare Krishna, for coming in. Is it appropriate to fast for the whole day? Some say it's not appropriate. As an empty stomach, you can't. If you have a medical problem and if you have some problem, don't. There are degrees of fast that you can do. Some people fast from grains. Some people have to fast completely from water. Some people fast from fruits. Accordingly, you can decide. There's no rule. Okay? Right. Thank you. I have to leave. Hare Krishna.
Hare Hare